Man, I've got a fun watch to show you today. This is the second release from micro-brand UniDesign Watch Company. This is the Autoclassic. And you may not see it immediately, but it's got a lot of design cues from classic cars of the 60s and 70s. Let's discover more in this full review now on WatchWit. Hey, welcome to the channel, fellow watch freak. My name is Wit, and I love to show you a wide variety of watches. A cool one today from UniDesign Watch Company. Look at the mid-case on this. You see that straight line edge, but also it's rounded, and that's what I'm talking about, this design cue from classic cars of the 60s and 70s. This case takes a stab at trying some of those lines, and it comes off really well for a cool, unique watch. Let me give you the measurements and specs on the Autoclassic, and then we'll get into my likes and dislikes on this watch. So the case diameter or width is 37 millimeters. You've got a 46 millimeter lug-to-lug length, 20 millimeter lug width, and the thickness is just 11 millimeters. It weighs just 81 grams on the supplied leather strap. This is a 316L stainless steel case, completely brushed with the exception of that high polished bezel, and it's machined from a single block of stainless steel. There's a flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a signed screw-down crown that is 7 millimeters in diameter and protrudes out from the case. And there's a bead-blasted screw-down caseback, 100 meters of water resistance on the Autoclassic. It includes this genuine leather strap with quick-release spring bars and a premium stainless steel buckle and tang with their logo. Moving to the dial on this black and burnt orange version, it's a matte black dial, and then there are cutouts to reveal that burnt orange section at the top for their logo, and then at the small second subdial. There's a fence post handset done in high polish, and then the small seconds hand is green. You've got a railroad track chapter ring, and those indices are Lumicast 3D markers. That is filled with Swiss Superluminova luminescence. So those markers are loomed on all sides as they rise up above the dial. Now, another automotive design cue on the Autoclassic is the small second subdial. You see that kind of resembles a classic car dashboard gauge, this kind of representing RPMs with a red line area. And speaking of the small seconds, the Autoclassic is running the Miyota 8N40 small seconds automatic movement. It's got 21 joules, beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, about a 42-hour power reserve, has an accuracy tolerance of -20 to +40 seconds per day. I hand-timed this over 15 days, and it came in at +16.8 seconds per day. The Autoclassic comes in 5 different colorways. Moving left to right, you've got the light blue, the dark blue, the black with burnt orange that I've been showing you, and then light gray. Now, the watch I've been showing you in this video is a prototype, so let me give you the changes that'll be coming for the production model. This dial and the dark blue dial will have improved contrast in the logo and line paint in the subdial. So that white will be a little brighter, a little more crisp, for better contrast. Now they're checking to see if that pinion cover on the small seconds hand can be done in high polish rather than a matte finish, but I bet you probably didn't even notice until I said that. I think it looks great. And the first batch will have numbers on the caseback, as represented here by the X's. It's time for my likes and dislikes. I'll give you the bad news first. So only a couple of things that I really kind of got bummed out about with this watch. And the first was, before I even took possession of the watch, I saw from the pictures that those set screws, were not aligned, and I thought, oh, that's going to bug me. Well, I got the watch in and started wearing it, and it didn't really bug me like I thought it would, and that was confirmed by finding out that these are actual screws, so this is not decorative. Those screws are holding the bezel onto the case. That made me realize that this is a genuine alignment, that is not just for decoration, so those screw heads are just going to land where they become tight. And I definitely thought that the white section on that subdial could be a lot brighter. The good news is that they're covering that on the production models. Also, to that point, I'm not really a fan of that U.D.C logo at the top, but it didn't get in the way of me enjoying this watch. And now let me point out some things I thought were really cool about the Autoclassic. And first is this case shape. I mean, obviously with this square watch design, we get something that's, outside of the norm from round dial watches. But it's this case, though, too. I mean, again, having those lines, you can see there's a cut line there, right? Yet it is rounded. And I just think that is such a beautiful touch to see in a watch case. And this one is very slim as well at 11 millimeters total thickness. And they did a nice job with the finishing on this case as well, keeping the brushwork the same direction for the entire circumference of the watch, and especially hard to do with that line on the mid case that I was just talking about. And having that high polished bezel on the top gives it a little bit of bling to break up some of that quiet brushwork. Now I love the crown on the Autoclassic. This is 7mm in diameter, nice and big for what would otherwise be a smaller sized watch. And the cool feature about it too is obviously that knurling is easy to grip, but you see that tube that sticks out. That is part of the crown, not part of the watch case or threading. But this gives you a chance to easily wind it as the crown sticks out away from the case, and then obviously when you click out further to set the time, this is just easy to grab because of how far it sticks out from the case. Now the lume really caught me by surprise. I mean, this could essentially be considered a dress watch, or a casual dress watch, so you wouldn't expect the lume to be that powerful, but that Lumicast 3D marker setup really shines on the Autoclassic. It's bright and long-lasting, something you don't normally see on a dress category watch. And the last thing I was impressed with was the compatibility of multiple straps. This being a square watch and just having the design cues that it had, I didn't really expect it to look that great on a variety of straps, but I should not have doubted, a black dial. This thing just looks great on so many straps. I mean, obviously, if you stay in the black strap scheme, it's going to match easily, but there are colors you can play off on the dial, the white, the orange or the green seconds hand. So it's just really cool how much you can change the look of this watch by changing straps. All right, availability. The Autoclassic is available through a Kickstarter campaign, and this is their second campaign. The first watch, the Model 1, was successful within a couple of days and delivered, and this will be no different. There are links down below in the description for you to view all the details, but there are limited quantities of super early bird pricing of the Autoclassic of $350 US. Then throughout the campaign, the prices will range from $375 to $450 depending on how many are reserved ahead of you. And the watches are going to go into immediate production, expected to be shipped June 2025. Cool design with the Autoclassic. I mean, it mimics those lines of classic cars of the 60s and 70s, yet if you don't know anything about cars, it's just a cool looking watch, right? What do you think? Leave your comments down below. Maybe check out a couple of these videos if you got time. I'll catch you over there. I'm Whit, with so many watches, so little time. And money.